in this very golf bag could be some of the best irons of 2026. I've seen loads of reviews raving about these, and I've got to try them out. I am just like all you guys watching. I'm obsessed with golf, obsessed with YouTube, and I'm always looking for the next set of golf clubs that can help me improve my score. When I've been watching a lot of these YouTube videos recently, I've seen loads of reviewers raving around the new Wilson Staff irons. So it's only fair we give them a go. The exciting thing is there's 3 different sets in this Wilson Staff model lineup. And Wilson Staff are a brand that I have always known about. I started playing golf in the late 1990s, a long time ago now. Wilson were a big brand then, they're a big brand now. But let's be honest, not quite got the sex appeal of maybe your TaylorMade, your Callaway, your Pings, etc. But they make solid golf clubs. You might have seen recently, Rick reviewed the drivers, gave them a glowing review. And these irons straight off the bat look absolutely class. There's 3 sets, as I said. There's a Wilson Staff model blade, which does what it says on the tin. It is a blade. It looks gorgeous, but it looks quite scary. The 4-iron in particular is giving me shivers a little bit. There's then the Wilson Staff Model CB, which could be the one for me. It's got that absolute pure look of a player's iron, but a little bit of forgiveness. And then there's this one, an iron that I think Wilson really, really need. This is the Wilson Staff Model XB. And it's essentially, we always use this analogy, it's essentially a P790 style iron from TaylorMade. It's that hollow head design that kind of looks like a blade, and in particular, it looks very much like the actual blade in this set, but a bit more beef behind the golf ball. That has potential, genuinely, like I said at the start of the video, to be one of the irons of the year. Off looks, anyway. Let's see how it performs. Okay, I hope you're sitting comfortably and ready for a good laugh, because this might be quite funny watching me attempt to hit these blades. But first off, looks-wise, honestly, you will struggle to find a better looking golf club ever than this. It just looks absolutely pure. It's got the Wilson Staff model text kind of on the toe here, the Wilson shield where they've taken off the W and the S for Wilson Staff and kept that kind of clean. Looks very nice. Very kind of nice looking number design on the book, quite a thin font. I know Rick's a big fan of his fonts on irons. That looks quite kind of classy and classic, but I mean, an awesome looking blade. As you'd expect with blades, these are pretty traditional lofted. Your 7-iron is 34 degrees, the 4-iron's 23 degrees, and the wedges are 46. So kind of that new modern blade. I mean, years ago it would have been classed as strong, but in this day and age now it's kind of traditional iron loft. But behind the golf ball, it looks like a blade. It's small, doesn't fill me with confidence, but hey, it shouldn't do it to blade. I'm gonna hit a few of the 7, a few of the wedge, a few of the 4-iron, and then again, I'm gonna get into the other irons, but have to hit them while they're here. I mean, they look absolutely pure. If I hit this well, it should feel phenomenal. 170 to the flag. Let's have a go. Oh wow, straight out the blocks. Bit of a pull. It's actually gone quite far. Wow. That's gone further than I thought. 181 total, 177 carry, which to be fair, I have the Titleist T100 irons, which are a bit more forgiving than these, definitely. And my normal kind of ball speed with an iron's about 120 to 125. That's at 123, so exactly what I expect it to be. And carry of 177, so that, I mean, maybe one shot in, maybe I can go with blades. Maybe this could be me. Oh, and again, that just feels awesome. I mean, that's going quite a long way. But Wilson are a brand. I mean, as I said at the start, you think of Wilson, you might think of Padraig Harrington. They've won more major championships than any other brand. Very kind of well-regarded, well-trusted brand. But let's be honest, there might be a few of you watching who are kind of Wilson fans, but I bet not many of you watching use Wilson or even get excited about Wilson. It's probably more your TaylorMade, Ping, Callaway, Titleist, Mizuno, you name it. Tacoma maybe now as well. But you know that Wilson are a good brand, and this set of irons and the other 2 set of irons as well are a little bit of a more affordable price point than those big brands, the big brands. These retail now around £1,099 for a set of irons. So not cheap, but much cheaper than some of those big brands. That was phenomenal. The feel of these things. They're going far as well. Oh my day, that's gone crazy distance, which I didn't expect. Maybe I'm getting a bit stronger. But wow, 182 carry for the 7-iron, 192 total, spins at pretty much 6,000, that's not bad. Irons of the year, potentially. Wow. Well, that was a bad one. And that is where, typically with a blade, you will get a bit more punished. That was a toe-y shot. Having said that, I still would be on the side of the green. I mean, they honestly feel great. I'm gonna hit the wedge, hit the 4-iron. What I'm gonna have a think about throughout this video, maybe you guys at home do the same, is what does a brand like Wilson have to do to make you genuinely go out and want to try them and want to buy them? Because so far, for those first 4 or 5 hits, that is a great feeling blade. The CB is one that's more suited to me, so I'm very excited for that one. And that XB at the end, that hollow head iron, that's the one that if they can crack that this year at that price point, they could be onto a winner. Okay, so into the pitching wedge now, as I said, I'm not gonna hit too many with these in the 4-iron, just enough to get a bit of a feel for them. No surprise, the wedge looks awesome as well. However, for me, this is very personal. Behind the golf ball, it's quite a rounded wedge, which some people will absolutely love. I'm a bit more of a fan of a bit more of a square, kind of straight line looking wedge, but that's just, again, personal. 46 degrees aloft, so I've got the pin at 140. Might be a little bit ambitious, but again, if I catch this nicely, I'm excited to see the feel of it because that 7-iron ticked a lot of boxes. Oh yeah, it's like butter. Don't know if that's got there. A little bit short, slightly high out the face. And again, a little bit thin, but you're taking it. Go, go. The big thing with blades though, and so a lot of us get carried away, it's one thing hitting a short iron off a mat, no wind, flat lie, no consequence. It's not that difficult. Get on the golf course, it's cold, it's windy, it's dark, it's getting cold on a Wednesday night in a midweek comp, and you've got a 4-iron on your hand. Very different story. So we'll hit some 4-irons in a minute, but the other thing as well to note before getting to the other irons, you can combo these sets really well. So if you love the look of these blades in like the wedge 9-iron, maybe even the 8-iron, then you could have CBs in the 7-iron, 6-iron, 5-iron, maybe have an XB 4-iron. It's good that you can do that. Most brands cater for that. It's a lot more of a trend these days, but certainly with these Wilson sets, that's something else you can look to do if you want those blades, the shorter irons. They're great. That wedge is great. Now it's time for the 4-iron, and I'm quite nervous. Okay, so this is where you start looking at that thing. Is this a golf club or is it a butter knife? Because it's very hard to distinguish. This is super, super, super skinny. It makes the hosel of the golf club look huge. It's making me think, shank me, shank me. I'm gonna try not to shank it, but that is tiny. And realistically, most players who even play these blades, I would expect the 4-iron and the 5-iron, they probably would have in the CBs. There's not many golfers on the planet now, really, who play full sets of blades, like 3-iron down. Not many at all, even on tour. So this is just a bit of a fun experiment. The flag's at 215. I can tell you now, if I smoke it, it will feel phenomenal. If I don't, it will feel probably terrible. Oh my gosh. Realistically, a few practice rounds, Open qualifying, getting in the Open this year at Birkdale. Who knows? Oh no, that was a bad hit. That's one that you can feel the difference. Look at the drop off, it's gonna be well short. Something for you guys at home to be aware of as well. If you get fitted on a launch monitor like I'm on today, what you'll say there is, that shot's still gone on the green. It has on this fairway where there's no trouble. On the golf course, that would probably go in the short bunker, in the rough, it would have gone off in a little funnel area. You're then struggling to get up and down. So take that with a pinch of salt. That shot, yes, it went on the green then. On lots and lots and lots of golf courses, that would have been in a real bad zone. So that's where, again, with these long irons in blades, you miss the middle, you lose distance. But then you hit it like that. That is golf at its finest. That shot when you hit it out the middle, it's just what keeps you coming back. That felt, honestly, incredible. I'm gonna say this now, believe it or not, many moons ago when I was much younger and a lot better at golf, I used to use a Titleist 690 blades. I'll put a picture on the screen now. And I could use them, I was quite good back then again, believe it or not. These honestly feel as good as they did, if not maybe even better. If anyone out there is looking at buying blades, you're not gonna go wrong with these. Come on, last one, let's really hit a good one. Oh, I have as well. Wilson. They are phenomenal. If these next two sets of irons feel anywhere near as good as these and perform like these, Wilson Golf are going to have a huge year. I'm very excited. Let's get those CBs in my hand right now. Wow. Okay, so those blades, as again, no secret, they are really aimed at the Wilson staff kind of tour athletes. So those guys who are out on the DP World Tour, Live Golf, you name it, PJ Tour, that's where they're going to start to look into. These, however, the cavity back, the CBs, you still will see in the bag of tour players, certainly the longer irons, but also more, you know, your single figure handicappers. You might get guys off 12 who's a decent ball strike. Look at these. And the great thing is they very much closely mirror the blades. So again, if you want to combo them, you can. But if you like the look behind the blade, behind the ball of the blade, but don't quite feel confident, this CB, honestly, it almost looks identical. It's just a little bit thicker, which is a good thing for most people, a bit more forgiveness, a bit more confidence inspiring. So in terms of looks, I mean, you really can't fault it. Exactly the same loft as the blade, so 34 in my 7-iron, so for me this should go about 170 to 180. Bit of pressure now, because those blades went so well. If I hit these worse, and that's kind of a bit embarrassing, but let's see what we can do. Oh, a little bit skinny, I'll take it. Could go in the hole. Oh, okay. Literally snapping flags. Wow. Okay, no words needed. Let's hit some more. Oh, it was a bit of a pushy high, kind of cricket shot almost, but feel-wise is good. I'm going to hit those golf shots. I'm going to miss greens, unfortunately. That is me. Oh, again, a bit pushy, but I can honestly, the feel, that's me. That's coming in with an open face. But feel-wise, again, incredible. Okay, I need to just try and square that face up a little bit to give this one a good chance of going close, but without repeating myself too much, I'm flipping enjoying these. Again, right side. I'm definitely favouring that right side today with this iron. Might run out of things to say in a moment about these irons because they're awesome. That is what I like with this kind of CB over a blade. You wouldn't know it. That's the kind of shot that you'd hit on a par 3 and your playing partner would probably say, oh, good shot, good strike. I didn't quite strike that, if I'm honest with you. It was a bit clean, but performance-wise, it still went. Wow. I don't know whether to make this call now. I'm going to make this call now. These irons feel better than my Titleist T100s, which I absolutely love and adore. These honestly feel better, which I'm somewhat surprised about. If the rest of this, the wedge and 4-iron of these can perform well, and then those XBs, wow. Okay, so no surprise, the exact same as with the 7-iron. This wedge looks just like the blade, but a little bit thicker, but I'm talking marginally different. So again, flag at 140. Normally on the golf course, this is the distance I'm quite good at. Oh yeah, and again, that felt phenomenal. Right down it. Okay. You know what I'm trying not to do? Almost be too positive towards Wilson, because I try and do every review that I do on obviously everything that Rick's done for the last 12 years is to be completely impartial. I sometimes feel sorry for Wilson, and only because they do make great gear, but as I said several times throughout this video, they're not always a brand that people get too excited about, and that's partly on them. You know, the marketing's not been as brash, as bold, the clubs haven't always looked amazing. They've had some great looking clubs, yes, but they've not always looked great, and they've had an era where they kind of felt like they were a bit more of a beginner's golf brand. They didn't focus as much on the real elite stuff. So this year, with these that obviously are typically for the better player, and then the XBs slightly higher handicapper, but they all look great, and then forged golf clubs, they are doing a lot of things right. And you know, you look at, compare them to some of the new Cobras, the Mizuno, the Titleist irons, etc. You honestly can't say these don't look as good, if not even better. And then performance-wise, I mean, they are really ticking every box. Okay, just one more with this wedge, because again, I can tell I like it. There's no point hitting shot after shot after shot and saying how good it is, because you're getting the picture. And that felt like a huge pull. And then what, 10 yards left of the hole, whatever that might be. Yeah, 17 foot. So what felt like a really bad shot was 17 foot away. The only slight caveat to all this praise I'm giving Wilson right now, the players that would go for blades or go for a cavity back typically are a better player, and might be kind of players who Don't swap the clubs too often. Really think about what they're buying, get custom fitted very kind of professionally. Where Wilson really needs to try and bang that door is the XBs, the sets I'm going to go on to in a minute. The golfer who might be a 12, 15 handicapper who likes buying the gear quite a lot and again normally goes towards TaylorMades, etc. That's the iron for me. If they can get more people into that, they'll get more market share and that'll obviously do big things for Wilson. So far so good. Let's hit the 4-iron of this one and then let's save potentially the best to last because that really is a deal breaker. If they can make that set of golf clubs as good as these have been, Wilson have smashed it. Okay, 4-iron of the CBs. Let's see if we can do anything like the 4-iron of the MBs, the blades. Oh, he's here to play. That was a bad golf shot. Get away with it, that was terrible. The real Guy Charnock is in the building. Yeah. Okay, not great, but we take it. Go! Yeah, that's done all right, actually. It's making no sense, really, so far, because I've hit the blade 4-iron better than the CB 4-iron, which shouldn't really be the case, but that's just me as an amateur golfer. Obviously, my swing is quite inconsistent. I do feel more confident with this one, for sure, just not hitting it quite as well. Oh, until now. That was leathered. Gone through the green, but strike-wise, that was phenomenal. Let's just hit one more, then we'll get into those XBs. Very nice. So as I said at the start of the video, I started playing golf like 1997, 1998, and throughout that time, lots of brands have up moments and then maybe moments where they weren't so in a good place in the golf industry and so on and so forth. This feels like now to me, genuinely, if this last iron could pass this test, this could be Wilson's moment to be kind of doing that and really on the up because they look great, they feel great, slightly cheaper than the competitors, but not too cheap that they almost look cheap. Really, really impressed. This last one though, this is what they want to sell in bucket loads. They won't sell many sets of blades, no brands really do. And they won't sell that many sets of the CBs again, not many brands do. This iron, the XB, is where the volume is. This is what makes golf brands tons and tons of money. Let's try it. I mean, first off, it's obviously heavily inspired by the blade. And to the untrained eye, it almost looks like the blade. And what is actually interesting with these sets of irons, they all obviously have the number on, naturally. They say forged on them, they say Wilson on them, they have the Wilson Staff Shield logo, and they all say Staff model. However, they don't actually say the model of the iron on them. So, to the untrained eye, you could actually get confused as which is which. When you look close, the XB is definitely a bit bigger, a bit bulkier. It's like a blade on steroids. But it's not crazy different, which again is good because why should you, as an 18 handicapper, have to have an ugly iron? You know, you want something that looks great in the golf bag, and that certainly does look great. Behind the golf ball, though, it is a lot bigger than the blade. Still very similar kind of head shape, quite rounded, but much, much bigger. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to put the pin out a bit further, I think, at 190 possibly with the 7-iron. It might not go that far, I'm kind of guessing, but it is about 2 degrees stronger than the other 2 sets of irons. Well, it is 2 degrees stronger. This 7-iron is 32 degrees. The previous ones are 34 degrees. I suppose one reason why Wilson have done that, which is a good idea if they have done it because of this, is that if you do mix and match your sets, which I think a lot of people will do with this set, you've actually just got a set of Wilson Staff model. You could have XBs longer irons, CBs mid irons, then blade short irons. They don't all have different names on them, it's just one set of irons, which is quite cool actually, quite a good way of looking at it. So that's quite interesting. But here we go, I'm hoping this one feels good. It looks like a big head, it looks powerful. Does it lose that feel though with all that juice? Oh, it's a huge push, that's completely down to me. That's user error. That would be off the golf course. How is it that I'm hitting the most forgiving iron out of the 3, and yet I still manage to absolutely push it off the face of the earth? But look, I'm human. Right, let's go again. I got a bit too carried away earlier thinking I was due to get a tour card or get into the Open Championship, so that's just brought me right back down to reality. Oh, very thin, but it's going. Yeah, that's where these kind of irons do well. I mean, it was a bit short still, granted. That was crazy thin, that was a horrible golf strike, minging. But 178 carry. Come on, let's try and hit a good golf shot. Less talking, more hitting. It's nearest the pin. It's a Saturday comp. We're gonna sleeve the pinnacles to get this close. Oh, the pinnacles are coming home to me. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. It feels unbelievable. It really, really does. It feels insane. When you catch it like that, it feels insane. Oh, and again. It sounds like a gunshot, but it still feels quite soft. Landing nicely, stopping pretty quick, huge distance. The final big test for these irons though really is how the wedge and the 4-iron perform. Again, you might look to combo these sets. You might not even have the pitch and wedge if you get this set. You might go for the CB. Some people want the full set of them though, so let's just see what they like. But honestly, this is awesome. Oh yeah, it's fast, it's going, but it lands pretty stock. Look at the descent on that, it's just stopping. And the spin, I mean, that's 5,500 spin. It's not high, but it's not terribly low either. It's it's acceptable for that descent angle. Last one with the 7-iron. I'm gonna say it now. I know I've got a couple more irons to test. In the last video that I did, you might see on the channel, I reviewed the Tacoma irons, the new 101s, gave them a great review, said they felt amazing, and they do. They're half the price of these, so you could argue they are better value. However, the extra 500 or so pounds that it costs you to get these, they do feel better. Whether it's £500 is justified for you is a different story. It's a lot of money still, but that honestly feels like a super premium iron. Okay, so the pitch and wedge, 46 degrees aloft, so same as with the two sets of irons. Similar look behind the golf ball, quite rounded, a little bit thicker top line. Try and go flag hunting. Oh, that's lovely. It's a high launch, wow. Got to space. I put the flag out at 150 there, might be a little bit ambitious actually. I'll hit one more and then maybe bring it forward a little bit because that just went really high. Oh, that was thin, but it's going. Yeah, I think I'm being a little bit ambitious with that flag. Let me bring the flag back to 140 and try and see if we can go flag hunting before we get the 4-iron out. That was a better hit. That felt awesome. There we go. There's a player in there somewhere. 1 in every 5 shots is good. Well, that felt lovely. That felt really solid. Come on. One more and the 4-iron's getting tested. There's a lot of pressure on this 4-iron because every single club so far has been great. This 4-iron somehow lets me down, the review's just destroyed. Felt like a huge push, but I'd be on the green. Okay, so first of all, sorry if this has been a longer video than it needs to be, but I've never really tried much Wilson stuff before, and these have really impressed me. So I felt like I had to do it justice by trying each of the different sets out. But honestly, so far, I'm absolutely blown away. This is the last club, this is the 4-iron of the XB, so it's the most forgiving 4-iron of the 3. It looks, again, the same, but chunkier, a bit more mass. It's 2 degrees stronger, so it's 1 degree stronger than the other 2 4-irons, so it's a little bit stronger. Let's see. I think this is one of those clubs, if I catch it, it will feel awesome. No, not like that. That was toey, slappy, nonsense behaviour. That was horrendous. And thankfully, that's the kind of golf shot that makes me realise that I'm actually no good at golf, because sometimes my head gets a bit big when I hit a few good ones. I hit a few wedges close and think, oh, I'm a good golfer. And that brings me back down to reality. I'm not. Come on, let's hit a few more. Oh, there she is. It's a push, but that just felt unbelievable. It always looks worse the longer iron when you miss the green, because obviously it's got more speed. It's going to miss it probably by a bigger margin, but that felt absolutely awesome. Come on, let's hit the green though. Let's really think now. Come on. It's a long golf course. It's the 18th hole. I've got 4-iron left in. It's a par 4. I need to get a par to beat Rick and take 20 quid off him. Come on. Oh no. I've buckled under the pressure. It might sound a bit silly to say this, I'm missing the green miles with it and I hit the blade so much better. That was obviously down to me. I was hitting the blade well because my swing was good. Now it's not as good, getting a bit tired. But feel-wise, again, it does feel great. Oh, and again, I've missed it miles right. I think this is me not wanting to give Wilson a good review. It was all going so well until the end. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm joking. Come on, let's hit that green. There we go, a bit pulley this time. But genuinely, jokes aside, that's why I'm reviewing these golf clubs as well as Rick, because obviously Rick's a good player, very solid player, PGA Pro, and I'm not, and I hit all over the club face. So it's good to see different abilities. It's weird that I said I hit the blade 4-iron so well, and this one not as well. Okay, that was better. I'd take that one. That's actually got miles. Flipping heck. 244 yard 4-iron. Gone through the green. Let me just hit one more. These obviously aren't going as well. Down to me, a bit tired, a bit of a lazy, slappy swing. But I've got some numbers to go through with you and some final thoughts on these irons. Oh, it was a good hit. I'm definitely liking a little push slice. Anyway, let's have a look at the data. Okay, so let's look at the data of the blades first off. And to be honest with you, exactly where they should be, for me anyway. The 7-iron was carrying at 174, which is really good. The pitching wedge at 134, and the 4-iron at 211. Now you can see there the number, below that number, the standard deviation, goes up as you get to the longer clubs. So with a pitching wedge, I'm 4 yards either side of that number. So a good one goes 138, a bad one goes 130. That's what we'd expect. When I'm going to get into the 7-iron, a good one goes 180, a bad one goes 168, and then obviously with the 4-iron, we see a good one can go 221-ish, and a bad one just over 200 yards. That's not uncommon. When you're hitting bladed golf clubs, the longer irons, your forgiveness gets less and less and less and less, and your front to back, your good shots and your bad shots, that difference is so much bigger. That's why personally I wouldn't really use blades anymore, and lots of even better players don't in the longer irons, because your bad shots get punished so much. But overall, as far as a set of blades go, they look great, they feel great, and you can see they went pretty straight for me overall. A really solid set of golf clubs. So anyone who's in the market, again, very small percentage of you watching, but anyone who's in the market for a set of blades, you really won't go far wrong with them. Actually picked the wrong one up then, because that's how similar they look. Where is it now? Oh no, that was the right one. That was the staff model blade. They look awesome, they feel awesome, and they're a good price point. So huge tick for me. Let's have a look at the CBs next. Okay, CBs. These are the ones that for me personally, if I was to get a set of irons, probably more up my street. They've got that kind of blend of both of looks awesome, but a little bit more forgiveness. And the numbers were good again. 138 average carry with the wedge, all going the same distance, which is phenomenal. 7-iron was 177 carry with a kind of 4 yard either side dispersion. And then the 4-iron was 205 carry, so a little bit less than before. And a dispersion of 15 yards either side. So my 4-iron was a bit slappy. Even though that 4-iron should be more forgiving than the blade, for me it wasn't working quite as well. But overall, again, feel-wise, look-wise, performance, you could literally put the iron up against a Titleist T100 or anything like that, TaylorMade P7MC maybe. It's gonna really, really hold its own. So I'm running out of things to say other than great golf clubs. But the last one to look at is this XB, because this XB is the one that, again, they need to crack this market. And I think they might have done. Here it is, the final golf club in the family, the Wilson Staff Model XBs. And you know what? They performed. Looking at the data, the pitching wedge was 135 average carry. The 7-iron was 185 average carry with only a 4 yard front to back dispersion. So a great one was going 189, but a bad one was only 181, so hardly any difference. And then the 4-iron, even though I pushed it off the face of the earth, I was slicing them really badly again, my swing in an open face impact. What was really interesting was the strikes. So actually the carry average with a 4-iron was 221 yards with a 4 yard front to back dispersion. So a great one's going like 225 and a bad one is 217. So head and shoulders above the blade and the CB, which you'd expect. Even though I wasn't hitting them straight and it was down to me, they're so much more forgiving because there's bad shots and good shots. That was awesome to see. Again, feel-wise was awesome, looks-wise, phenomenal. I started this video off by saying, you know, what do Wilson need to do to really kind of knock on that door, beat that door down and really get in there with the big boys of your Pings, TaylorMades, Callaway, Mizuno, Titleist, etc, etc. I'm going to say it now on record. This year, the Wilson irons are genuinely as good as anything on the market. I've tried most clubs out there. You might not see me review them all, but trust me, I come in here and hit shots with Rick and I don't know what else you could want in an iron. The price is much better than some of the competitors. The looks are phenomenal. I'm struggling with things to say kind of potentially negative about them. The only thing, and we are kind of clutching at straws, is that they come from Wilson. And to some of you guys watching, you know, you might be approaching a 40th birthday or 21st birthday or treating yourself, you've had a promotion at work, you want to go and buy a new set of irons. You've probably had your heart set on the Titleist, the Pings, the Callaways, those Mizuno, nothing feels like a Mizuno. It might be quite hard to suddenly go, you know what, I'm gonna buy Wilson. That's up to you. But what I would definitely recommend, if you are looking at new irons, just try them alongside the sets that you might be looking at and see how they perform. Because if they perform anything like they have done for me, you'll probably walk away with a set. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you've liked this video, please leave a comment down below, like it, make sure you're subscribed. Loads more videos on the way soon, and Rick will be back as well. So we'll see you very soon.